So I'm going to leave a link down below for you, but it has 2 different types of greens in it. It has 1 gold. And so I think there's like 4 or 5 colors that's actually in it. So we're going to go over here and we're going to start our design. And so we can see how it actually will go ahead and sew out for you. Okay, so these are actually the colors. Like I've got the green. This is another green that's actually going to go in here. So let's go ahead and start this up. And then this was actually I guess that was, oops, it's more of like a terry cloth towel. Here, make sure it does what it's supposed to do here. Sometimes when you start these designs off, and you start hearing the noise, you're like, oh my gosh, you know, what's going on? But let's go ahead and stop this just for a moment. So now, this part, okay, I can actually already see what's going on here. So I'm going to take my hoop off here, okay, because I know that we all have these problems with our machines. The bottom is coming through here, and that is more of that bobbin. Your bottom bobbin is coming through. So normally if that happens, you're going to want to take your design out. Normally what I do is take it, I pull it out, and then kind of flip that thread over, because I may have had my thread in wrong, and then re-thread that area here. Just kind of pull it out. Okay. And then re-pull this area out, make sure that everything's okay with it. And then all I do is just kind of go right back up into the, and start the machine over. So, let's go back here. Make sure there's no towel or anything like that underneath it, because I did make a mistake before doing that. And I embroidered the whole thing underneath with the towel. So, I was like, I can't believe I did that. So yeah, so what we're gonna do is I'm gonna go back with my design here. And let me just go back here. We're gonna start the whole thing over here really fast. And on your Janome, there is a minus and a plus. And usually if I mess up on anything, I'll just go back and use that little minus or plus to go right back to where that stitch was at. So we're gonna start this over and let's see exactly what it does. Okay. So now we're through Halloween. It's time to actually get ready for the rest of the holidays. Let me see something here, and it's doing the same thing. Oh, actually, no, it's not. I can't tell. Let's just keep going, just in case. Eventually, it's going to do what it's supposed to do. Okay, now it's doing it. Okay, so sometimes we have problems with our thread coming through to the other side where your bobbin's at, and then it just messes with your design. So the best thing to do is just take your bobbin out and turn it over, and then restart it again. At least that's the way I've done it. I was able to actually, restart the whole thing over. But I just pulled the bobbin out, and because I may have put it in backwards or whatever. I mean, they're supposed to go in a certain way. Sometimes when I'm rewinding my bobbin, I'll take it, put it right back in there, and not see it, or not looking at what the direction of where that bobbin's actually going. So right now, we are embroidering a Christmas tree. And like I said, I got this one from Urban Thread, so I did get it last year, which is fine because I hadn't got a chance to use it this year. So this is going to be a really, really pretty design. So we're just going to go ahead and let this sew. And if you have any questions or anything like that, just let me know. Especially when it comes to questions with the bobbin, questions with embroidery. this should come out really pretty. It'll be a really pretty little Christmas tree because that's what it's supposed to be. And I needed some new tiles anyways for my kitchen. So let's go ahead and let it embroider out, and we will be back. And if you have any questions, just let me know. Always let me know. And then I'll also have a link down below for Urban Threads, so you know where to go and get this design at. And like I said, I am working on a website right now where it'll be my own website, so you can actually go to it and be able to purchase some items that are embroidery. So definitely ask questions about that. So let's go ahead and continue with the embroidery. If you can get the microfiber tiles, they actually seem to do a lot better than the 100% cotton tiles, just because the weave is so close. Not that cotton is not, the weave is not close on that, but these just seem to give you a softer look, especially if you like the farm country look. These are really nice to embroider on. I believe I got these off of Amazon. I can leave you a link on that too. And then also, if you sublimate, okay, they're good to sublimate on. Now, however, I have found out the microfiber, I like it better. I like using them better with my embroidery machine than sublimating on them, because the sublimation on it doesn't seem to stay as long. So the disc gives you a really pretty tough design, and the layout just looks really nice when you're embroidering. So I think that, if you can definitely get a set of these, that would be good. Okay. So I think I'm almost out of thread, so we're gonna go ahead. We're gonna change our thread, because I turned off my thread. There's like a threader that's actually inside of the Janome, and I turned that off just because when I recently got the Janome here a few months ago, it kept saying thread break, and it was just driving me nuts. So I actually went in and turned it off just because of that. And so now I just kind of wait. It doesn't really tell you when the thread's coming out, or when you're gonna have to change your bobbin, so you kind of have to really listen for it. So right now I'm gonna actually go ahead and I'm going to change my bobbin up. When I first got my machine, I would get pre-wound thread, and it just becomes so expensive that I just started just using the thread that I have to rewind with the bobbin. So it's more cost effective. A lot of people get that for their bobbins, but to me it just wasn't worth it. It's just too expensive to keep buying it when I could just go ahead and pre-wind it myself. So let's see here, this right here. So the next color that we're actually going to be doing is more of like the lighter green. This one, let me see what this one is. It's N247. There's not really a name on it, but it is the broth thread that I use, because I usually use that anyways. To me, it's like the best thread for any type of embroidery. So that's what I normally use. And yes, guys, I do this old-fashioned way, which is what I was always taught to do. I never use this little guy over here. I know it's like meant for me to use, and it's probably a little bit easier, but I just do it old-fashioned way. Thread through the needle. That's it. For me, it seems to work better. Make sure this does what it's supposed to do. Okay. So now we're going to actually go over top of here. So it's actually going to the first part of the Christmas tree. This is going to be really pretty though once it's done. And you see how the the reason why I like that microfiber is because when you're doing this, it kind of embeds itself, the thread does, embeds itself down into the actual towel itself. So that's kind of like what makes the whole design pop out, because what hasn't been embroidered pops out and kind of makes it kind of poofy all the way around the sides and stuff. So that's kind of like the reason why I like using these. Plus they're soft too. They seem to go, you know, really well with the kitchen, and they wash up really good, so that's another thing. So far we've done most of our Christmas tree here. So the next color, see here, we're gonna do gold. It calls for like a brown, like a bronzy brown. I mean, I guess I could do something like that. I don't know. I kind of like to stick with the golds though, because I really like the golds. So let's just go ahead and do this gold. So this is the color that we're actually gonna do. Pull this in here. I like to stay with like the yellow golds, things like that. Or, you know, when I do Christmas trees, and I know you guys are probably thinking I'm crazy when it comes to not putting this in the way I'm supposed to. Just kind of the way I was taught. That's it. Alrighty. Let's go ahead and start this up here. So now, actually what it's doing is it's going around the outside of the Christmas tree. It's doing like the spray that, you know, that when you put in your Christmas tree, you've got the golds, yellows, golds, all that you put in the spray that goes in your Christmas tree. So that's what it's doing right now. Kind of pull that in, just so you can see it a little bit more. Move this around. This drives me nuts. That's the only thing that really drives me nuts is seeing my thread going in every different directions. That's why I want to try to catch it if I can. And then I like to get up here and just cut these areas. If I can. I kind of have to run with it at the same time. Like you guys see, like in between where the Christmas tree, like where we have the branches here, and then we have this really cool little puff design in between it. That's kind of like what I like about it. That's why I like the microfiber towels. And I'll leave you a link, like I said, down below, because I got these off of Amazon. So I'll find a link for you. And then you've got that, in case you guys want to go ahead and pick up some for like Christmas and embroider some things for, you know, for like your dining room area. And I like to have my towels mix match with anything that I do in my kitchen. This is what my camera's starting to mess with me just a little bit. It's almost like it wants to move. There we go. So you can kind of see it there. But I did hear that this year, emerald, like the emeralds, the jewel colors, those are in this year. So I think I may do probably a couple placemats, but I'm not sure. I did see, however, I was kind of like going through different places like Pottery Barn, places like that I like, and seeing what type of dishware that they have, you know, towels, linens, anything like that, that will actually match with home decor when it comes to Thanksgiving and Christmas this year. I still have to do some of my Thanksgiving towels, but this was like, since I had the Christmas design, I wanted to do that one first so we can see what it looks like. Okay, so we're down to like 9 minutes on this. This actually was like 47 minutes long, almost 50 minutes long. So we're kind of like shortcutting it here just so y'all can see what it looks like and how it's embroidering out. It's actually doing really well. So I'm pretty impressed with it. Had to change the bobbin thread once, not too bad. So it's still working on it. So it's going to be really pretty though once it's done. So far I'm impressed with it, with the thread and everything. It's doing great. Just gonna move this up just a little bit here so you guys kind of see what's going on. So like I said, it still has a few more minutes. Sorry, that's my mug press that's back there that I'm got going on here. If you hear this little beeping noise here, just trying to do some Christmas things, trying to get those done and do some mugs and things like that for Christmas. And so, because before you know it, Christmas will be here, and then we will all be rushing to try to figure out what that perfect gift is going to be. And I don't believe there is a perfect gift. I believe that there's a gift out of love, but I don't believe there's a perfect gift. So I think that a lot of handmade items are the best gifts that you could ever give, instead of something that's actually mass produced. That is, you know, because you're giving it from your heart, and people really do like that. They really do. So we got a few more minutes left. See, we got about 7 minutes left, so I'll be pretty excited to get this one done. And so we'll be back in a moment. Okay guys, so it's finished. You just go ahead, I'm gonna cut a couple little strings here that we've got going on. But I think it came out really pretty. Tear off the back where the Pellon's at. Eventually I'll probably just take all this off, but this stuff is pretty easy to release anyways. But I think it's gonna be a really pretty little towel for like my kitchen area, because like I was telling you before, there's jewel tones that are actually in this year, so that's pretty popular. There was a couple other, yeah, they were saying something like coastal was popular too. So, so I may actually do a couple of ones with like seashells on it, things like that. But I think they call it, on Etsy, I think they call it crustaceans is what they call them. I think that's how you have to pronounce it in order to, like, if you were to go ahead and put one of your items on Etsy. But I think that's the way they actually pronounce it on there. Pearls is another thing that's actually pretty, one of those things that's just coming up this year. It's popular. So there's a lot of, and vintage. Vintage is another one that they were talking about that is pretty popular too. So here it is. I think it came out really pretty. Just turn my light down just a little bit, maybe a little bit too much. So you see when you turn that light down, see what happens? Then it gives me all those little shadows. But anyways, I think it came out really good. Like I said, it was about 47, 50 minutes in order to do this. And there was a certain way that I wanted to do my towel. So it will actually go right there next to my stove area. But these are pretty. Just kind of fold them up here. But look at that. Right for Christmas. Okay, all right. Well, if you have any questions or anything like that, let me know. Give me a thumbs up on this. This is from the Urban Threads design, so I will leave you a link down below on that. But I think it came out really good. Give me a like and everything. You guys have a nice night.